Good morning. It's your baby boomer Kittee Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia, back with another Create and Relate and today's daily nugget. Today's nugget is going to be a little extensive as it is National Mental Health Awareness Month. And I want to start it out with a piece that I wrote. I don't have the date on it right now, but if I were to guess, I would say 2017, 2018, somewhere around in there. And the title of this piece is My Definition of Depression. As a Christian, I've been taught my entire life to walk by faith and not by sight. I must not allow the enemy's disguise to take my eyes from the final prize, so I'm very much in touch with my total spirituality. I am also aware of what humanity demands of me. I know the S word is wrong in the eyes of the king, but see, there's this one thing. I want to unlife, but I don't want to be dead. I feel like my place is in the background, but I want to move ahead. I feel so alone and empty, but I'm so full of emotions. I feel like I want to talk it out, but I really don't like confessions, because those who don't suffer haven't a clue how it feels. They don't understand that depression is real. They offer advice like, girl, snap out of it and move on. Let's go get our party and our drink on. But I can't dance depression out on the floor. This debilitating disease makes me feel so much more. I feel like I'm hanging from a noose, teetering on the edge of despair, but when I open my eyes, I realize I'm seated firmly in a chair. I feel like I'm in a group hug full of energy and positive vibes, but all of that doesn't outweigh the abandonment I feel inside. Daily, I paint on my happy with good cheer and a smile. I can sometimes stave off depression for a while, but at the damnedest time, in my brightest hour, here comes depression, turning my sweet sour. I know as a Christian, I'm told not to claim it. Trust me, I've done everything in my power to try and defame it. I have talked to therapists, one after another. Their remedy? Medicate. So why even bother? I hate antidepressants. See, I don't like not feeling like me. But I walk through life daily wondering if others see what I see when I look in the mirror. Sure, I see that pretty face. I see the beautiful eyes, the chubby cheeks, the mixture of race. I see the smooth skin and the beautifully textured hair. But I also see something dark and gloomy standing there. I close my eyes and give them a wipe, open them up again, and it's still in sight. Now, I don't know when depression first came to visit me, because I remember a time that I was truly happy. Now, don't get me wrong. I still know happy. It's just that depression likes to put it in the back seat. I know my self-worth, and I'm proud of who I am. But depression often makes my reality feel like a scam. Despite it, my mission is to leave all those around me with a positive impression, regardless of this ugly disease they call depression. But the most confusing concept that others fail to see is that I didn't choose depression. Depression chose me. I can tell you that several of our topics will cover depression. That word alone covers a vast of conditions. I, in my poem, refer to it as a disease, and I really don't like to. The more I grow into, like I said, that was written, I believe, in 2017. I'd have to back all the way out of it to see when it was written, but learning me and learning so much more, I don't see it as a disease. It's not something you can just spread from one person to another. I see it more as a condition that a lot of people struggle with. I don't believe it's curable, but I do believe it's manageable. I believe that we can be gifted tools to work our way through some of the various forms of depression, like anxiety. I suffer from anxiety disorder. And when I get around large crowds, especially of people that I don't know, and I feel like they're closing in on me, it shows. Straight panic attack. I'm shaking, I'm sweating, I'm breathing funny, heart palpitations, and that's dangerous because I have a pacemaker defibrillator. So the heart get to doing too much funny stuff, it's gonna go out. It's gonna kick me. I hide my depression a lot behind my smile. When things don't happen in a positive way, I tend to see myself as a failure. And I'm talking from me because I know that I'm not the only person out here who feels it. But if I tell you what I go through, then sometimes it's easier for the next person to face what they're going through and to realize that you don't have to live in this in solitude. There are plenty of other people out here. I see a therapist every Monday at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time. She and I do televisits. When I had my vehicle, I drove to her. It's worth that hour every Monday. It is so worth that hour every Monday. She forces me to think to the root of things. What caused this? What caused that? Personally, I think that's the best way to handle it. If you feel that you have any form of depression at all, I first recommend that you talk to a member of clergy if you are Christian, and then talk to a therapist, not a psychiatrist, but a therapist or a psychologist. They tend to tackle the problem by giving you tools of self to work with. Hold on, please. Sorry about that. Like I said, the best thing to do is talk to a member of clergy if you attend church. And, you know, sometimes even if you don't, if you feel comfortable talking to a member of clergy, do that. And a therapist and or a psychologist. If they recommend a psychiatrist, okay. My disdain with a psychiatrist is their first option is to medicate. And as you heard in my poem, I don't like being in a state of meh, it's okay, it's going to be all right, because a lot of our problems that we go through are not meh, it's okay, it's going to be all right. Not too long ago, we were facing eviction. That was not a meh thing, you know. And I remember back in 2009, I had been on Zoloft, Pamelor, and Prozac for years, since like 98, I believe, 97, nope, 94, since 94. So this was all a part, I mean, I was like a zombie walking around, you know, and everything was meh, it's okay, I get it. You know, and in that time, after being in an abusive relationship, I said I do. After already being abused by this dude, I said I do to him. And the day I said I do, I didn't take another antidepressant. And I'm not recommending that anybody do that. Please understand, if you are on medication, check with your doctor before you decide that you're going to take control of your medication yourself. And make sure you have a good enough doctor that actually cares about you and doesn't tell you some stupid nonsense like, you grown, you do what you want to do. As I had a doctor that said, well, I'm sorry, a nurse practitioner, tell my daughter. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you're a member of the medical profession, don't ever tell your patients that. That is the most inconsiderate thing you can say to somebody. At any rate, when you're finding that someone to talk to, you have to look for certain things. You have to look for someone you feel comfortable talking to. Somebody that's going to give it to you. Somebody that you're comfortable talking to. Somebody that's going to give it to you straight. And somebody that you trust. And all three of these are actually number one. Because if you don't feel comfortable talking to that person, you're not going to. If you can't trust that person, then all your business is out here in the street. And if they're not going to give you the real, if it's somebody you paying, they're just taking your money for nothing. So those three things are a must, and all should be under number one, because they're all equally important, as important as the other. I suffer from PTSD. I was a victim of an adult taking liberties with a child for 7 years. And a lot of people don't realize that there are triggers that happen in people's lives. And what a psychologist or a therapist can do is teach you how to live through those triggers. They can tell you, and your friends can tell you the same thing, but they're not checking on you like a psychologist is or like a therapist is. Your friends will tell you, get you a notebook and write everything down. Write how you're feeling. Write 10 things that you like about yourself. I remember that. Every time something made you mad, write it down. Say what it is. And the concept is, in writing, you're getting it out. Me, I'm a talker. If I talk about it and I hear it come out, I'm able to let go until that next trigger happens. A lot of people don't understand the repetition that comes with people who suffer from depression. But it's a coping mechanism. It's a way for us to get it out. You cannot just say it and get over it. What we can do is learn how to live through it. And for those people who are so impatient and want us to just say it and forget about it and move on, maybe those people don't need to be in your circle. My circle has gotten so small. Because I realized that a lot of people who put themselves under the category of friends should have put the letters BAD before that friend thing, because that's what they were. Or NOT. They were not friends, or they were bad friends. And if our friendship keeps me in a dark place, I'm just saying. If I'm such a bad person, why do you want me in your space? And I don't need you in mine constantly bringing me down. I'm all about helping. I'm all about empowering. I'm all about bettering. I'm all about lifting others up, making others smile, helping others seek that peace. You see what I'm saying? So I don't need anybody that's going to be an ink blot. I'm tired of reading those. You know what I'm saying? And back to that, psychologists, psychiatrists, therapists, when they pull out the ink blots, run. I'm sorry. That's just me though. That's me. That's my personal opinion. I'm not doing ink blots. I'm not doing elephant ears and flowers. We did that when I was in the first grade. Okay. I'm a grown A woman now. I don't need childish ink blots. I don't ask me to see what you see. I mean, we look at things every day and we see things differently. My state of mind is not going to tell me that this ink on a piece of paper looks like an elephant today and a butterfly tomorrow and a tree the next day. And most of the time I look at that ink blot, I'm going to see that same daggone butterfly that I made in the first grade. But if that's what works for you, roll with it. I'm just saying the realism, you know, and I understand the concept behind a lot of things. My true understanding behind the concept of psychiatrists, like I said, I'm not a pharma girl. I understand how that whole concept works. And the fact that a psychiatrist can sit me in their office, know 30 minutes of my life, and give me 3 prescriptions when I walk out, and you've had no real background of me. But yet and still, I see you got a lobby full of representatives trying to sell medication. I know what's happening. The more prescriptions you write, and the more they get filled, the more kickback you get. At our expense. You're not trying to learn us or help us. You're trying to pay out your pockets. You already charge an arm and a leg and half our hearts and most of our brains. So why would you want to put us in a state of stupor? And that's what they do. They put us in a state of, I don't know who I am. I don't care who I am. This doesn't bother me. It doesn't faze me. I walked around in that cloud for years. You know, and it's to me, it's not worth it. Now, I'm not saying that everybody should be medication free. There are people out there who need it. But it takes more than a half a session for you to realize that they are the people who need it. I have seen a lot of people push so hard for non-medication that those people who actually needed it have not gotten the help they need. You know. Oh, that hurts. So, like I said, talk to a member of clergy first. And I mean, even if you don't do that, even if you talk to a friend, someone who is a true friend, someone who knows you, and someone who is going to give you that sisterly or brotherly advice, you know, who's going to be there. And even in marriages, you know, from my understanding, we're supposed to marry our best friend. They're supposed to know us top to bottom, left to right, right to left, all the way around, inside and out. So that should be and if we can't go to them, that's when you go to the clergy and the psychologist and the therapist. So get you a strong support system. Make sure that your support system is reachable. Make sure that they are compassionate and understanding. People who suffer from any type of mental illness need a lot of compassion. They need people who care for their well-being. They don't need anybody who's going to joke about it, who's going to make a big deal of it, be dismissive about it. They need to know when they need that hug, you're going to be there for them. And if you're not the type of person to be there for them, don't hurt them. Don't hurt them, because that can end up being dangerous for you. Don't play with people with mental illnesses. You can put a person that's in a good mind state in a bad mind state really fast. And 9 times out of 10, you're not going to like the outcome. I'm often told how sweet I am, how nice I am, and I am. I try my best to be. I'll work on that. But when that line has been crossed, I can get very vocal. And when I was younger, I got physical. But I have learned not to do that. But I will. I look like the type that will just let anything go. Like, you cut me in line. No, it's okay. Go ahead. Unless I've been sitting in that line for 2 hours and I'm ready to go home. And I got to pee. And I got a video to record or edit or whatever. And you think you just going to willy-nilly jump in front. No. The line is back there. Well, the sign, I don't give two flying patooties what the sign says. The line is back there. Back there. Please don't make me run over you with this cart. And then I come home and I think about it and I pray. But yes, depression is real, guys. And if you don't suffer from depression, kudos. And that, I'm not saying that lightly. I'm almost envious of you. I'm serious. I mean, because it's like some mornings you wake up and depression can hit you so hard that you don't even feel like getting out of bed. You don't want to be around anybody. It's a struggle just to make it through the day. It's a struggle to smile when depression has hit you hard enough that every muscle in your body feels uncontrollable. And that can happen, guys. When you have a panic attack, you can't get air in. It's like your throat closes up. It's a fear so great that whether you're trying to breathe through your nose or your mouth, there's no air coming. It's and it's scary. You're trying to stop crying because you know that's part of it. Everybody around you is not on the same page. You got people pulling at you. Just breathe. I'm trying. Daggone it. Calm down. I'm trying. And everybody's saying the wrong thing. And finally this person comes along who knows you. That's why I say get you a good support system. And they lay their chest on your back, put their hand on your chest, and tells you, feel my breath. Breathe with me. Don't think about anything. Just the fact that you and I are here right now. Just breathe. I got you. When you're having an episode, those 3 words can mean life. I got you. Get you a good support system. I told y'all from the very beginning, I am very much an advocate on advocating for your own health, and that includes your mental health. It is almost more vital than anything else. Because if your mental isn't strong, you don't have what it takes to fight through everything else. And I believe all of us have the capability of being mentally strong. I believe that. I believe that deep down in me, that we have that capability. And if it takes me to motivate you, I will be here every day. I will be here every day to tell you you can do it. You are strong. You are wise. You are beautiful. You are amazing. You are enough. You are enough. Let's stand there, keep looking in that mirror and give yourself some love, because you deserve all of it. I tell you all the time, it's the greatest love there is. Loving yourself. And know that I love you too. Until tomorrow, know that we will be recognizing Mental Health Awareness Month. And I'll be back a little later with our crochet along starting from November. We got some cakes to make, baby. Until then,